Well, guys, I have bad news. Unfortunately, I just don't think I'm going to be able to have the time to do these videos anymore. Just too much has come up, and I just don't have time. So, unfortunately, my friends, critiquing the critics is going to end. Well, for at least a month or so. I bet you were all crying and stuff, thinking that it was going to be ended for good. But no, just like a month or so. Basically, I'm doing this for two reasons. The first is I have this school project where I have to finish my script and then I'll pitch it in front of a independent producer. I don't know if that will lead into more greater things, but for the sake of the grade, I have to get that done for sure. So I need to focus on that. And the second one is when I review somebody, I feel like I need to watch all of their videos before I have the right to review them. So while I have seen other people's videos, there's no one else out there that I've seen all of their videos. So that's why I'm going to look into watching some more people's videos in this month, so then I'll be able to have reviews for them. Also, I might take a little bit more time in the future with my videos. If you've noticed, I rush them a lot, either in shooting them or editing them. And I just want to say I want to spend a little bit more time. If I don't like how a shot looks or a joke completely works, I want to spend a little bit more time with them, so my reviews at least look a lot better. So at the absolute worst, I'd say there might be some 2-week intervals, and not always. I'm going to try to go for a week, but if it takes a little bit longer, I guess I'll go for it. Quality over quantity, you know? And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be completely inactive. I have a Twilight Sucks episode planned a few weeks from now. I'll probably just do like 3 of those total. And there might be a bad movie review, but speaking of which, I'm thinking of changing the names for that. Instead of just calling them bad movies, I'm thinking creepy bald guy reviews. I don't know, something interesting though. If you have any better ideas, please let me know. I also have this thing called Reviewer Memoirs coming out. It's just where I might talk about the review a little bit. And I'll show any kind of deleted scenes, alternate scenes, or scenes that I had scripted but never filmed. So, like I said, I'm not going to be completely inactive for this month. Oh yeah, I'm taking requests. Now, all this means is that you tell me anybody who you want me to review, including yourself, no matter how big or unpopular you are. Just let me know and I'll put it on this list, and I pick that list randomly. I do the list just so I never get too caught up in reviewing just bigger reviewers or just smaller reviewers. I like to have some sort of a mix. But there is some requirements. For one, you have to obviously be a reviewer, even if it's indirect. Like, for example, Kung Tai Ted, the Cinema Snob's, another one of the Cinema Snob's characters. I consider that to be indirect reviews. And that kind of stuff, I won't say I will for sure, but I'll consider it. You also need at least 10 videos, 10 reviews for me to review you. Just so I feel like I know how good you are, maybe how good you'll become. I might make an exception, like for example, if the person you want reviewed hasn't been updating in like years and you only had like 5 or 7, I'll consider it. And one other person I will say for sure that I have on the list, even though I don't think he's done 10 videos, is that guy who reviewed The Phantom Menace, and it's like a 90-minute review, and it's pretty popular. I'll consider that just because it's 90 minutes. So that's on the list, not one of the immediate picks, though. Oh yeah, and just so you guys know, too, if you want to know who's going to be the next few reviewers, check my channel page, and I'll have everything there. And also, I'll reveal who the next 4 people I plan on reviewing are at the very end of this video. Now, what I'm doing next is what I call a reviewer recap. Maybe one day I'll think of a cooler name. Pretty much, I consider this to be the end of Season 1, and I'll go through everybody who I've reviewed up through them, just a quick, brief summary, and if anybody's changed in their ratings, whether for worse or for better, usually it's for better, I'll include that here. So without further ado, here is the reviewer recap. Number 1, the Nostalgia Critic. An obvious 4-star reviewer, he reviews movies and TV shows, usually from the 80s and 90s. With lots of personality, creativity, and some of the funniest jokes ever, He's my personal favorite video reviewer, and even when he's not at his best, he's still one of the best out there. Number 2, the Cinema Snob. Arguably the most popular obscure horror movie reviewer out there, the Snob is a champion of us tortured, crappy movie aficionados. I gave him a 3 out of 4 stars in my review of him, stating that if you aren't familiar with the subject he's reviewing, you won't get him. But you know what? His last 10 reviews or so have been among his best, and I decided to raise him to a 3.5 star rating. Number 3, Gendude89. This retro game reviewer has poor audio, but to be honest, you aren't missing much anyway. 1.5 stars just for that. Number 4, the Angry Video Game Nerd. My review of him may have sucked, but he sure doesn't. This retro video game reviewer who started the whole fad is probably the most masterful filmmaker of the video reviewers. The nerd delivers some hardcore videos that stick with you long after you watched them. I initially gave him only a 3.5 out of 4 stars due to his excessive profanity, but now I decided just to go ahead and give him the full 4-star rating. The profanity is obviously an issue, but it's a subjective issue and shouldn't affect the rating. So he hasn't gotten better as much as I just made a mistake. Number 5, the reviewer. This voice inside my head who also reviews video reviews is good enough. At the absolute least, he's worth watching just to see who he recommends. Number 6, the Irate Gamer. This infamous retro gamer is a must-see for people who like to see heavy production values at the forefront of the videos. But his critiquing and attempts at humor are questionable at best. He gets 3 stars. Number 7, the Nostalgia Chick. The critic's counterpart who reviews only girly movies and TV shows from the 80s and 90s. What can I say about her? She's hot. Need I say more? Oh, okay. Well, she's funny and has good criticisms too. A very good reviewer. She easily gets a 3.5 out of 4 stars. Number 8, Moronic Mark. Moronic Mark reviews really obscure, really bad movies, usually horror. He has an interesting concept and enough good stuff to keep you interested, but he needs to work out a lot of these issues. It should be noted that his last 3 reviews have been among his best, so if he keeps it up, by the next recap I might have to raise his rating a bit. But for now, 2 stars. Number 9, the Movie Preview Critic. He reviews trailers as well as movies, but his goal seems to be to encourage a higher quality of cinema than what we're currently getting. One of the most interesting and informative critics on the web. I won't say he's the best out there, but I would say he's probably the most important. A 3.5 star rating that would easily get a 4 star if he finished all of his videos. Number 9, Irate Gamer Neo. The Irate Gamer decides to take on new relevant Nintendo Wii games. His strengths are toned down and his weaknesses are more distracting, with his humor being grating, but on the other hand his criticisms have been significantly better than the ones found in his retro reviews. And finally, number 10, Martial Horror. This sexy man who looks like me reviews reviewers, just like me. Like Mark, he needs to work on a few things, but has some good stuff as well. Okay, so here's the people I plan on reviewing next. I hope to do this in order, but don't 100% count on it. The first is Big Smile Reviews. He reviews newer games. The second is Mars Girl. She reviews anime or anime-ish stuff. And she was also a contestant for the Nostalgia Chick title. The third is Reader of Everything, who obviously reviews books. And the fourth is the Happy Video Game Nerd. He's a spoof of the Angry Video Game Nerd who reviews older video games. So that's really it for this video. If you're interested in my reviews in general, I'm not talking critiquing the critics, but movie reviews, go to my website. It's in the description. I review pretty much like 3 or 4 movies a week, including newer stuff like Clash of the Titans. I focus mainly on horror movies and martial arts films. And I hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you next time.